All right, hi guys. So this week's video has to do with the project that you will be creating in the next 2 weeks. So this week you just have your first draft that you have to submit to me. Next week you guys are going to submit your final draft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this week's assignment and what I expect from you. So this here that is on Google Classroom is your creative project instructions along with the rubric. So I am grading you in the rubric on the project itself and then the recess paragraph that you write for me. But to dive into the actual project, the instructions, you're going to pick a topic in U.S. history on this website, and I'm going to go to it right now. And you're going to transform a moment from that time period into a creative medium. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a moment you're going to take an article from this website, which we're going to go to, and then you're going to either create lyrics, a poem, a short story, a video, or a PowerPoint presentation based on what you've learned from this article. When creating your piece, focus on the theme of the text and how you can continue using that theme in your own project. So that's why it's important in this week's assignment that you're going to find the central idea of the text, because the central idea is essentially the theme, and then you'll be able to use that theme in the project that you create. Once you've created your project, you will answer the following essential question in a well-constructed recess paragraph. So what subject or key scene is emphasized in the text and your creative medium? So it's the same exact question that you guys got in last week's assignment for the recess paragraph, right? What subject is emphasized in the Alexander Hamilton biography and the lyrics? But this week you're going to answer that question for your project based on the historical text that you wrote and the thing that you created, whatever medium you created. So you must turn in the creative portion, so the actual recorded song, rap, or scene, a written poem or short story, or the PowerPoint slides. You're only going to do one of these things. And if you've created a song, rap, or acted out scene, you need to submit a written version of the lyrics or the scene. And in this week's PowerPoint, you'll actually be able to see that I give you instructions for each part. So I have, if you need to do a song or rap, read these instructions. If you're going to do a poem, read these. A short story, here are your instructions. A video, here are your instructions. And here I add a link to how to create a script. And then a PowerPoint, I give you this. And then I also have the recess strategy steps as well as an example recess paragraph. So if we go into the actual website that you guys are going to be using to pick your historical text, that's this one. It has a bunch of different articles and different topics all the way down to 60, so 1 through 60. And you guys are going to pick anything that you find interesting. So each of these is an article. You're going to pick one. I picked modern feminism because I find that interesting. And I'm going to read through the text. I already read through it. I'm going to annotate it, or I'm going to take notes in a notebook, or I'm going to do something to figure out its central idea. And then I'm going to go to the actual assignment that I have for this week, and I'm going to answer part 1. So my part 1 is, what is the central idea of your chosen historical text? So based off this text, I'm going to find the central idea, and I'm going to do R and E from rest. So I'm going to say the central idea of the text, modern feminism, is that women in the 1950s believed in their equality and fought for it. The text states they demanded equal pay for equal work and pressured the government to support and enforce legislation that prohibited gender discrimination. So I find my central idea. I know that modern feminism is all about women empowerment, women equality, all of that. Then, based off this and based off the knowledge that I now have here, I'm going to plan out my project, right? Let's say I want to do a poem. So I'm going to create my poem based off women empowerment. And so in part 2, I'm going to add my title here. I am a woman, hear me roar, whatever. And I'm going to write my first draft of my project here. So if I'm doing anything that's written, so the lyrics to a song or rap, the script, the poem, or the short story, I'm going to write it here. If I am doing the PowerPoint, I'm going to do it somewhere else. And I'm going to show you that in a second. So what I would do, I would write the first draft of my poem here in this box. I would do the title. I would write the first draft of the poem. And then finally, I would go to part 3 and write a recess paragraph answering this question here. What subject is emphasized in both your historical text and your creative project? So this topic that is emphasized in both my historical text and creative project is women empowerment. In the text, the author states, in 1968, radical women demonstrated outside the Miss America pageant outside Atlantic City by crowning it a live sheep. Freedom trash cans were built where women could throw all symbols of female oppression, including false eyelashes, hair curlers, bras, girdles, and high-heeled shoes. This demonstrates that women in the 1950s era were aware of their oppression and chose to fight back against the men that told them to sit down and look pretty. And then in my poem, I write, but I am not alive to serve them. I am fighting for my rights and equality. I was born at 10. They won't treat me like a casualty. This shows that women do not live and breathe to serve men, and they will continue to fight for their rights. Therefore, both the historical text and creative project emphasize women empowerment. I cannot stress this enough, but you guys need to, at the end of this whole, at the end of you writing your first draft, even if you are not 100% sure about your first draft, you need to have this recessed paragraph done this week, because I'm going to give you corrective feedback, and then you guys will be able to fix it and turn it back into me afterward. So that's basically your assignment for this week. It has to do with your project. And then if you are doing, and I'm going to go back into this, if you are doing a PowerPoint for your creative project, you're going to go into this PowerPoint that I create. It's called Creative Project PowerPoint. It's given to you. You each are going to have a copy, and you're going to basically follow the instructions that I give you here. At one point, I do ask you to add a video from YouTube explaining your topic. So what you're going to do is you're going to click here, you're going to click insert, you're going to click video, you're going to find a YouTube video, right? So let's do modern feminism. And then you're going to find a video. What I would suggest that you do is you go on YouTube first, you find the video, and then you search it up. You find the video that you actually is going to help you with this project, because it has to explain your topic in a way. So you could find, I always show you guys videos. You could find videos that are like animated, or you could find like a TED Talk or something like that that's going to talk about your topic. You also need to put pictures of the famous person that you're going to talk about, because your project, in the article, they always talk about someone. Gloria Steinem here. They talk about specific women that actually, Betty Friedan, that helps this movement, or helped to this moment in history. And so I want you guys to talk about, those women or those characters, those people in here, and I want you to put pictures of those people. And then you're going to put pictures from that time period. You're going to put bullet points explaining facts about your article. You're going to give me a summary of what was happening during your historical period. You're going to add your title, add your name, add the name of your text that you used. So here I would put modern feminism. Here I would put my name, Michelle Conde, and here I would put my title, right? So you guys can create your own title. Please remember to be as creative as possible with the PowerPoint. And you guys also have to do the final recessed paragraph. However, if you're doing the PowerPoint, you're going to work on it here, and you are not going to do part 2. If you are doing a creative draft, like lyrics, the script, a poem or short story, you are writing it here. If you are doing the PowerPoint, you are doing it here. So for those of you who are doing part 2 here, you do not need to touch this PowerPoint. For those of you who are doing the PowerPoint, you do not need to touch part 2. But you do need to turn both of them in. If they're blank, it's fine. Whichever one is blank, I will know, as long as you have one of these 2 parts done. But if you guys have any other questions about this week's assignment, please let me know. Message me through Remind or through Instagram. And in this week's Zoom meetings, I will be talking more in depth about the projects. Bye guys, and good luck.